Hey all, Dr. Jared here, coming to you with week 6 of our summer book club. Continue with our nutrition component of Healthy 5 Essentials. And today we're specifically going to focus on weight loss and muscle building. And so, when we look at weight loss, there's a variety of misconceptions, but a couple of the ones that I want to address or help you look at today are, number one, calories in versus calories out. First of all, in my opinion, there is some level of truth to this. You can't overeat and expect to lose weight. There's a certain level of metabolism that your body will utilize, but also there's a certain point where your body is going to look at you as starving. It's not a simple machine. It's a very complex machine. And so for eating, all calories are not made the same. The analogy that we use in our Nutrition 101 class is if you ate 200 calories of apples, which would maybe be, depending on the size, let's say 2 apples, or if you ate a Snickers bar, not the same calories, not going to process the same, not going to satisfy your hunger the same, not the same amount of fiber to fill your stomach or make you feel full, different quality of digestion. And so calories in versus calories out. The first thing for calories in, what type of calories are you putting in? The second thing within that calories in versus calories out are you getting enough protein? Many people, especially women, do not get enough protein, and that affects their body's ability to be lean, to build good lean muscle, which is going to increase your metabolism and to overall process everything properly. And so getting enough protein, at least 80% of your body weight would be one example. So if you weighed 200 pounds, getting 160 grams of protein would be a good goal, which 160 grams is just over 500 total calories. So even in a 2,000 calorie diet, that's only about a quarter of your overall calories. And many people eat more than 2,000 calories. Also, in the calories in, calories out model, if you go too low for too long, your body will actually change your hormone structure where it will stop letting you lose weight and it will actually feel like you're starving. Again, like it doesn't know that we're in 2025. If somebody was starving, if they didn't have access to food for a week or something like that, your body would try and hold on to every single calorie it could, every single bit of body fat. It would change the efficiency of how you process or break things down, how much you put towards muscle, which affects looks, which affects, all sorts of different things. So going super low in calories also frequently messes it up unless it's under a strict and controlled environment. And some of you have taken a look at one of our other weight loss programs, which is not in this book, called ChiroThin, or the Metabolic Reset, which Mackenzie, our nutritionist, could take you through if you're interested. But for the most part, you don't want to go low calorie. You want to look at the type of calories you're eating and then where the hidden ones are. And one of the ways to do that is with a food journal, really looking at what do you eat when you eat out? What do you eat on the weekends? What do you really hold yourself to? What do you eat at night when you're bored or whatever it might be? So calories in, calories out for weight loss. Second thing, hormones. So insulin, ghrelin, and a variety of other hormones like male and female sex hormones, testosterone, estrogen, and a series of others all affect weight loss and muscle building. So consuming high amounts of processed carbohydrates or processed sugars is going to increase your insulin levels. It can cause type 2 diabetes, which is really a symptom of, in most cases, way too much sugar and processed foods. And it causes your body to actually stop or significantly reduce the body fat that you burn. For large amounts of your day, and especially overnight, your body is supposed to burn fat as its primary source of fuel. If you exercise and you talk about, if you've been on the elliptical before and you see the fat burning zone, that's the point where your body can get enough oxygen to keep you burning body fat, not burning sugar. You have way less sugar in your muscles for energy than you have body fat that you can use. So for instance, if you sprint, or if you get too high in your heart rate, you can't get enough oxygen in. And so you start burning sugar. And that's how you see people crash when they're exercising, or maybe when they're not in the shape that they normally would be. Versus if you stay in that like 70 to 80% zone, that's when your body burns fat. Well, similarly, throughout your day, there's times when outside of meal times where you're supposed to transition to burning fat, and you need to have certain hormones. One of them is called ghrelin, that transitions and tells your body to burn fat. And the higher your insulin level, the less fat that you burn. And so something to really consider is, if you're over consuming sugar, if you feel addicted to sugar, is switching to that advanced eating plan for 2 to 4 weeks and getting your insulin and leptin under control. Now, additionally, certain types of foods. So not just ultra processed sugars, but ultra processed meats, also things that have high amounts of chemicals, food dyes, preservatives. All of those things can knock out sex hormones. So you hear about a lot of men saying, man, my testosterone's so low, it happens with aging. Well, that may be part of it. Exercise also affects testosterone production, but food and toxicity levels also affect testosterone production. In women, similar things, we could mirror those, and this would be a whole talk just on itself. But for instance, like processed soy. So a very cheap way to add protein in is soy protein isolate, but also like soy milk, soy cheese, a variety of those things. They're low cost things for food companies to put in. But soy mimics estrogen and can bind to certain estrogen receptors, which can cause your body to either overproduce estrogen or can cause estrogen progesterone imbalances, which can cause women to gain weight even when they're not eating unhealthy. And then there's also stress hormones. So high consumption of caffeine. It's crazy. Coffee has, for many people, way too much caffeine, but then there's places that add coffee, like Starbucks, or, some of these places you might buy coffee from, like a cup of coffee, like I'm having this morning, might have 60 or 80 milligrams of caffeine in it, where a cup of coffee from Starbucks might have 300 milligrams of caffeine, which can burn out your adrenal glands, which produce your stress hormones. And if you're high in cortisol, which is one of your stress hormones, you're going to retain weight. Also, poor quality sleep, high stress environments, whether that's at work or home or elsewhere, or just frankly, not giving yourself time to rest, meditate, relax, sleep, pray. I already said sleep, but going to church, any of these things, if you get your stress hormones really high, or if you're not addressing it, and it's estimated that over 90% of US adults have either adrenal fatigue or adrenal burnout, meaning that their body does not regulate their stress hormones properly, which can lead to weight gain in the places that people don't want, like in the bellies of men, and more commonly like in the hips or lower part for women. And so all these things affect weight. So it's not just calories in, calories different. So some spots to look, starting at page 121, there are a whole series of recipes. On page 133, there's a smoothie recipe that I really like, the chocolate blueberry smoothie. On page 147, there's the chili recipe. And then on page 220, there's the start of the core and advanced plans, so that you can really look at how and what to eat, and maybe meal prep or shopping prep. So hope you enjoyed this. Keep on reading. Have a great and very blessed day.